I haven't slept so well in ages. Oh, hello there.
You appear to have recovered from the effects of the coma ray.
Oh, that's what it was. Subterranes, yes. Planet 4-6, eh? Yes, it's all coming back to me now. Where's Marina, by the way?
Your Earth woman is quite safe for the moment.
Oh, I see. Yes, threats against her life if I don't let you guys operate the randomizer today, eh?
Silence, Earthman.
Oh, okay.
You will have no choice. Switch on the machine.
Good. A perfect strike. Supposing something should go wrong.
Nothing will.
Unlike Earthmen, we do not make mistakes.
Yes, well, I don't want to be the one to bring you down at all, but were you aiming for a Protectors episode?
What shall we do?
We have no choice.
We shall watch it on our television screen.
Oh well, at least you're finishing what you've started. Most commendable.
There is no escape.
Well, here's Ceremony for the Dead. So, welcome back to...
Ready, Mr. Rule?
The Protectors.
When you are.
Season 1. The final episode of the first series to be produced, although I think it was aired 6th. We are at a foreign embassy in Malta, I believe, where Harry Rule is, he's got the arduous task of bringing in ladies to do a little twirl.
Well, Mr. Rule?
No, that one didn't pass inspection. We're looking for a particular kind of woman here.
Nice eyes.
Long dark hair. And the chap assisting Harry Rule with this task is none other than Stanley Lebor. I don't know, but he's a very familiar face in this period of British television and film production. Most famous for playing Howard in Ever-Decreasing Circles. If you've never seen Ever-Decreasing Circles, do please go and check that out immediately.
Sorry.
Because not only is it probably more interesting than this episode is going to be,
Nice girls working in the embassy.
but he is also one of the finest sitcom actors of all time, I think. Howard is a gorgeous creation.
I would say that's exactly what you understand. We need a...
Here is Toby Robbins.
She does not look so much like me,
Well, that's not quite so important as the fact that she's ideal for the job.
despite the fact that at this moment she's on holiday.
This is the lady that we're trying to find a double for now, but
3,000 miles in an afternoon.
none of the ladies that they've looked at so far are quite right for the role.
Our whole Air Force consists of 3 short-range bombers. Short range.
Harry's got someone else in
The
mind.
position of your country means that the big powers are very anxious to be friendly. Why don't we just see how friendly?
Now, Toby Robbins, you Space 1999 fans will recognise
Put
as
me through 2 calls.
Diana Morris in Bringers of Wonder 2-parter, but unfortunately there she was dubbed. So you won't recognise that voice if you're not familiar with this episode, but you will recognise the face. She was the man-eater former flame of Koenig's. Anyway, we're now out at sea. Stock footage of an Air Force
U.S. Air Force, bang on time.
jet overflying the area.
There it is.
Looks like a very cold day around Malta, and I do like this opening. The way we know who this is going to be because we know this show, but we don't say the name out loud. We haven't even seen the face on the photo, but someone has bailed out of that jet. We're now going to go over and pick them up, and that seemed to be a man being picked up in the boat, but now we're back with Robert Vaughn. It is, of course,
Harry, you better have a good reason for this.
the Contessa.
A very, very good reason.
And this episode, as I've said, takes place on Malta. There were a couple of episodes around this time that took place on Malta, and they reused a lot of the same settings and vehicles, and we're seeing one of them here, the Contessa's yacht, which is an absolutely beautiful craft. You know, everyone's being served up champagne.
Right, Harry, just explain. Here you are on holiday on my yacht. There I was, lying on a beach, minding my own business.
This show makes being wealthy look like so much fun, which I know is kind of a theme through a lot of the ITC shows. But in this, because we're on location for real in this gorgeous boat, we can really see
Answer in just a moment when I introduce you.
how nice that lifestyle can look. And we brought Toby Robbins with us. I can't remember her character's name.
Oh, Caroline, this is Madame Rue.
Thank you.
The President's
Madame
wife.
Rue.
You're a long way from home, madame.
Not with all, Contessa. I am staying at our embassy here for a reason. My husband is no longer young, Contessa. For the past year, he has been a very sick man.
I've seen the press reports.
His doctors
Press report saying yes.
have treatment by
Old man, quite sick.
So you brought him over here?
Not yet. Until suitable precautions have been made, I dare not.
You dare not.
Ooh.
There's a rumor around they're going to attempt to kidnap the president when he gets here.
Have you any idea who could be behind it?
Just they.
My husband has his share of enemies at home, Contessa. The danger is from both sides.
Ah.
The extreme left and the extreme right.
Madame Rue wants us to help get the president here safely.
So it's a mysterious, faceless, unseen, unknown they.
Holiday, I mean, couldn't you handle it yourself?
Well, I suppose I could, but somehow I don't think the airport press would think that I was Madame Rue when the president flies in tomorrow.
Aha. That's why we were interviewing ladies.
Dig?
Dig.
Doug. Yep. She's gonna swap places with Madame Rue. Now here we are at the airport where her husband is just arriving. I think. I haven't seen this episode in a very long time. I do actually have some reasonably good memories of the Malta-based episodes of The Protectors, at least the first season. Despite me saying that my memory of the episodes of The Protectors that aren't set in the UK is quite fuzzy, but I do remember this one. Unfortunately, my abiding memory of this is watching this episode with a bag of chips. Yeah, I sometimes used to do half days at school near the end, so I would get a bag of chips, bring them home on the bus, and I guess I watched this episode when I got in one day. So, I don't have any chips today, unfortunately. That's a shame. I could have recreated those bygone days of yore, but anyway, the Contessa is now doubling for Madame Rue, looking reasonably credible there, I think. There's police vans and such around, as poor old Mr. President is unloaded from the plane. Doctors in attendance. Harry is watching from a distance. But who's this mysterious figure just arriving on a motorbike in an orange jumpsuit? Yes, just as the police van was leaving the airport, in come a load of guys on motorbikes, pumping out orange smoke all over the place. Oh dear, bit of a fight. Harry's been clobbered. They've stolen the police van with the Mr. President in the back, I think. I mean, we're only we're coming up on 10 minutes into this. I think I'm keeping track of it so far. It's not always easy with the Protectors. But yep, the police van has been snatched by our motorbike gang. Now further up the road, two of the gang have peeled off, leaving just the driver. Ah. And who is this at the wheel? Who is the motorbike orange-clad fiend?
Rough ride, Caroline?
Like a trip on a steel trampoline.
Aha.
Don't blame me. Blame Harry. He said to make it look good.
And that's not even the real president in the back of the van. That's a decoy.
For the moment.
Oh, and here he is.
Most roadblocks for the ambulance. On an island this size, we shouldn't have too much trouble.
Oh, do you know who that was? That was Charles Thake. Yes. Now, Charles Thake, very important figure in the Anderverse. He was, that guy. I can't remember the character's name. He was the villain in The Investigator. Yes. And he would have got that role off the back of his performance in this episode, which amounted to those 3 lines we just heard him say. So,
When you mentioned the threat of...
obviously, you know, he delivered those 3 lines so well that clearly the Andersons were going to have him back for The Investigator. Either that or he was possibly the only English-speaking actor that the Andersons had any contact with while they were filming this. I suspect the latter.
One of us. To help in any way we can.
You are very considerate.
This was a decoy to distract the real kidnappers, put them off the idea if they think that the president has already been kidnapped or killed or whatever. And all seems to be going well so far. Harry's satisfied. Madame LaRue is satisfied. And Paul is now about to drive the hijacked ambulance, no, police van even, off a cliff. And it's a bit different from the old, the white Jag going off the cliff in The Saint and the Baron and all the rest of it. We have an actual real police van that we're just chucking off this cliff for real. There it goes. Quite a spectacular and ambitious shot for a location unit. But what's this? An ambulance is being followed by a mysterious black car. Presumably this ambulance contains the president, for real. Oh, there's black cars on all sides. This is a real ambush. Oops. Oh. The nurse has pressed the panic button. Oh, ambulance driver was actually putting up a good fight there. He doored one of them in the face and kicked another one over before he got taken out himself. Oh, don't hurt the nurse. Who's this lady? I don't know.
Yes, sir?
Harry, what is it?
Our ambulance is in trouble.
You're near her. Get down to the marina fast.
Oh, and here's the introduction, at least on the randomiser, of a fabulous new Protector's vehicle. I mean, I say that, it's not really. It's
The ambulance is in trouble.
this 4x4 go-kart thing. There's one in this episode, and there's one in another Malta episode. It was all over in Leipzig, which is a different colour, so it's not the same vehicle specifically, but it is the same model. And it's a lovely image that the Protectors just pile into and out of this 4x4 go-kart thing. I'm not sure what the name of the vehicle itself is, but it does look very cool. I call it the Protectomobile. But, you know, it's only in 2 episodes, I think, which is a shame, because I rather like seeing them ploughing their way across the country in this thing. It's speedy as well. Yes, Contessa and Paul are in the Protectomobile, following the ambulance, which is now arriving at a marina. Not my marina, or our marina, I should say, but just a marina. Going to transfer the...
We've been called out on an emergency.
Oh, well, that's what he thinks of that. No emergency for you. We're going to put our kidnapped president on your boat and take him out to sea. Is that what's happening? No, the president was already on the boat. I'm losing track here. Right, so he's being transferred from the boat to the ambulance. Oh dear. Oh no. So many people that I don't know. So many extras. And they must be extras because none of them are saying anything. Are piling into the ambulance. Well, I'm at a loss to explain how the Protectors were already in contact with that ambulance before it even had the President's body in it, but regardless, the President's body is now in the ambulance. My earlier reporting that it was false, but now he's there for real. Everything might be okay? I don't know.
The embassy.
This way, please.
Come into the car. Okay.
Oh, dear. It's all gone a bit pear-shaped. And not just my
We were
commentary.
too late. They've got the president.
Who are they? I still don't know.
Is that the ambulance?
The emergency signal's still working.
Ah.
Let's go find them.
Good thing we knew they were going to hijack that ambulance specifically. But never mind, into the Protectomobile. Oh, I love it. I love it as well that when there's 3 of them in there, Paul in this case gets to just sit very casually in the back seat. And here's a very dangerous shot as well. They park this thing right at the very edge of a cliff, and it's Vaughan driving. So if he'd put a You know, if he'd hit the accelerator instead of the brake, that could be all three of the show stars plunging to their doom like the ambulance. It looks very high. They've followed... Oh, not the ambulance, the police wagon. But they've now followed the ambulance to... a castle of some kind?
Ah, they must be in the house.
President is a sick man. We don't know how sick. Can we risk a straight break-in?
Negative. Keep it under surveillance, Paul. They have to make contact sooner or later.
Right.
Oh, and here comes the ransom note.
Delivered by hand. I'm to go alone.
No mention of a ransom.
No,
It's risky.
Not much of
my
a
mind is
ransom.
made up. I do not know what their demands will be, but if I do not do what they ask, they will kill him. I must go to my husband.
Well, Harry and the Contessa seem to smell a rat here. As Madame Rue heads for the rendezvous. Paul is still there keeping an eye out. So Madame Rue's putting up quite the struggle as they take her up to the house. I'm still not sure who they are. Paul's very confused by the whole thing. But here comes the Protectomobile. Mary Dawnporter nearly banged her head as...
Has she gone inside?
Oh, God. And Vaughan nearly broke Tony Anholt's leg the way he parked that Protectomobile. Oh, dear. So, we're now launching our assault on the house under the cover of late afternoon. Ooh. Yep, luckily it's guarded by the, you know, those guards who can be felled in one short karate chop to the back. Ooh. I think Harry might have broken that guard's neck. I can't really tell because it looked like he was sort of kneeing him in the bottom. There's two guys out having a smoke. What are our heroes going to do to them? The old throw the rock over that way. Hey! Ooh. Here comes the third one. Oh! Oh, he wasn't prepared for return fire from Harry and Paul there. This third guy's like, oh no, don't shoot me, don't shoot me! Ooh. Took out one of the cars there. And that's it, our third man has been shot, and falls very slowly off the tower.
Paul!
And again, these must be local performers. We're not even letting any of these people make noises as they fall or die. But there goes a boat.
North Africa would be my guess, less than 5 hours away.
We'll need a fast boat to catch that.
At least 30 knots.
Does the Protectomobile turn into a... Oh no.
It's okay, we got him on the radar.
Good. Who are you? It's just a guy with a boat. But Harry and Paul and Stanley Lebor, who has had disappointingly not much to do during this episode, which is a shame. Anyway, this is the Mi Amigo, the boat that Harry has found to follow the boat with the kidnapped Monsieur President. And again, some nice location filming around the coast here, but it looks like another very cold day. Probably shot on the same day as the stuff that I said earlier was cold, in fact. But Harry and Paul's made, very good time in this boat. The three guys...
Giving two. They didn't have much choice.
They're giving up. And who's this body in a bag? Oh. Madame Rue was...
Yes, he's dead.
Oh.
How long ago? When did he die?
About an hour before I contacted you.
3 days ago.
Yes.
Ah.
You've been through it all for a dead man.
No, I've been thinking we've been through it for one very much alive woman.
Yes, alive to the possibility of taking over from your husband.
He had to buy time. You had to keep the president alive as far as the world was concerned until you could arrange to seize power.
A week would have been enough.
All right.
Replace the police chief and the army commander.
And then an announcement that the president is dead, a state funeral, and by then you're too strong for anyone to challenge you.
I got a question. Why didn't you take him to the clinic? With your staff in attendance, your secret would have been safe.
Yes, with my staff in attendance.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We had our doctor. He was in the ambulance. Wouldn't have been fooled.
Good old our doctor.
You gave me the idea.
So, why, when she showed up at the baddie's house, were they so rough with getting her inside? Why did it need 3 of them to drag her in, kicking and screaming? I don't know, and I don't much care, and it's kind of an unsatisfactory way to end the episode. And it happens with some episodes of The Protectors, where you don't really find out what's going on until like the last minute, like 30 seconds before the credits roll. Suddenly you get all this stuff dumped on you. So anyway, we're at the airport.
Oh, excuse me.
Harry, Contessa, and Guy, who just left.
Stick around for a while. I'm going to take...
We're going to have a drink together. I suspect that might be the unexplained guy with the boat.
I'll bet you would.
Golden beaches, long cool
I mean, they
drink.
could have asked Charles Thake for some help, but Charles... Oh, it's Signor Caranti, isn't it? That's who he plays in the Investigator.
Quiet little dinner under the stars.
Yes. You don't want to, a little Charles Thake goes a long way.
Waiter?
Oh, Caroline was arranging to go off with
You do well.
What?
boat guy anyway, I guess. So what can Harry do? He's got a spare drink,
Mr. Rule,
a spare ticket,
I was waiting for you.
Yeah, I won't be needing it now. I'm flying out soon.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
and a lady. She has legs. And a smile.
That chauffeur-driven car. I'll take it. What's your name?
Julie.
Julie.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway.
I'm kind of new on the island.
Uh-huh.
And I thought maybe you could show me around some of the sights.
Take me to some art galleries. A very good friend of mine recommended this this painting to me. Anyway, that was The Protector's Ceremony for the Dead, and I kind of like that one. I like that it there's a lot of nice action pieces and stunt work, you know, with the scene at the airport and the hijacking and the van going off the cliff. There's some nice visuals in this episode. The story is okay, not very satisfactory in the end, but it did introduce us to, of course, Mr. Charles Thake and the one and only Protectomobile, always one of my favourites.